Index numbers. An index number is an economic data figure reflecting price or quantity compared with a standard or base value. The base usually equals 100 and the index number is usually expressed as 100 times the ratio to the base value. For example, if a commodity costs twice as much in 1970 as it did in 1960, its index number would be 200 relative to 1960. Index numbers are used especially to compare business activity, the cost of living, and employment. They enable economists to reduce unwieldy business data into easily understood terms in economics. Index numbers generally are time series summarizing movements in a group of related variables. The best-known index number is the Consumer Price Index, which measures changes in retail prices paid by consumers. In addition, a cost of living index (COLI) is a price index number that measures the relative cost of living over time. In contrast to a COLI based on the true but unknown utility function, a superlative index number is an index number that can be calculated. Thus, superlative index numbers are used to provide a fairly close approximation to the underlying cost of living index number in a wide range of circumstances. Some indexes are not time series. Spatial indexes summarize real estate prices or toxins in the environment or availability of services across geographic locations. Indexes may also be used to summarize comparisons between distributions of data within categories. For example, purchasing power parity comparisons of currencies are often constructed with indexes. There is a substantial body of economic analysis concerning the construction of index numbers, desirable properties of index numbers, and the relationship between index numbers and economic theory. A number indicating a change in magnitude, as of price, wage, employment, or production shifts, relative to the magnitude at a specified point, usually taken as see also. Price index to index number problem is the term used by economists to describe the limitation of statistical indexing when used as a measurement for cost of living increase. For example, in the Consumer Price Index, a reference year's market basket is assigned an index number of 100. In 2019, if a market basket price is 55 and the basket were to double the following year, in 2020, then the index would rise to 200. This is done by performing a simple calculation, dividing the new year market basket price by the reference year's, otherwise known as the base year price, and subsequently multiplying the quotient by or. While the CPI is a conventional method to measure inflation, it doesn't express how price changes directly affect all consumer purchases of goods and services. It either understates or overstates cost of living increases. This is the limitation of the CPI that is described as the index number problem. There is no theoretically ideal solution to this problem. In practice, for retail price indices, the basket of goods is updated incrementally every few years to reflect changes. Nevertheless, the fact remains that many economic indices taken over the long term are not really like-for-like comparisons, and this is an issue taken into account by researchers in economic history. Further reading: Robin Maris, Economic Arithmetic, 1958.